It's your boy Kevin Yee. If you can't tell, I have a different setup today. I dropped my camera and I dropped it off last Monday. But as you know, with this whole virus outbreak thing, all the shipments and whatnot are actually taking a long time to kind of order parts and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I thought the stream would be a little different. I normally title this like "Ask Me Anything" for 30 minutes, but had a lot of major thoughts recently with everything happening. If you are dropping in, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the like button. It really helps my channel with the algorithm, especially. And feel free to drop comments as you're coming here as well. So, I can't find my iPhone. Man, I can't find my iPhone. You always got the latest releases for these Apple projects, bro. Hey, bro, says Junior Boss Beast 101. Man, I'm not sure if you guys know, but it's pretty damn crazy these days with this whole Corona thing, guys. So I've been talking to my mom and stuff, and she's telling me Massachusetts is like not accepting any, what's that called? Is not going through, like, they shut down Logan Airport and all that. Over here, if you've been to a local Costco, it looks like straight up like a zombie apocalypse. And I was like, fuck this shit. Actually, you know what's a fun fact? I actually stocked up about a month ago when I first heard about Corona. And I just wanted to top off some of my supplies just in case the city goes on lockdown and stuff. So that's not a concern of mine, but I was just being prepared. And when I went to Costco, like there were like carriages flipped over and stuff, and they made you line up. It went all the way. And I was like, fuck this shit. Like, dude, I started ordering online. So I ordered a lot of my stuff through online Costco, and I recommend, if you guys are younger as well, like, really just think about the older people, the immunocompromised, who don't really know how to order online or anything like that. Just really take the time to order online and whatnot. But even Amazon Prime right now is delayed. It's gonna take more than 2 days for all my orders and whatnot as well. So that is that's some legit stuff happening, man. Alequin says, I'm so relieved to find out NYC finally closed our schools, but it's shocking that they closed until April 20th. Believe. It's crazy, man. I've been hearing a lot of rumors. Like, people are saying that like a lot of different ports are closing. We're not gonna get any shipments and stuff like that. That's what they're saying. Edgy God Prime says, hello, I hope you're doing well. Thanks, man. Hope you guys are staying safe too, man, during these times. It's I can't find my iPhone, not I can't find my iPhone. Sorry, bro. Kevin's presence makes the interwebs better. Thanks, homie. Really appreciate it. For Loran, it's until April 3rd. This guy. No passengers coming into Logan Airport. Sup, bro? Hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in, Taste and Travel. Appreciate it. Costco's hectic over there. Wow, panicky people. Yeah, buying up all like toilet paper, water. Like, honestly, I feel like a lot of this panic is induced by people just overreacting. I get it, man. Like, people want to make sure that they're safe, but like, at the end of the day, I don't think any of us will really. I don't think stocking up on toilet paper and making prices go up really helps everyone. I've been seeing a lot of these like really sad stories about especially older people, man. I don't know. I feel like really sorry, like not sorry for older people, but feel kind of bad for them. So I actually immediately called my mom and I told her, I was like, dude, right before the whole panic stuff, I was like, hey, anything that you need today, you should just stock up just in case. My family's usually pretty good about that because we grew up. My family grew up during war times. Like, my dad grew up with the thought of like war, like during the World War II time, so he had that like that hoarder mentality, I guess, right? Preparing for a worse situation. My mom came up from a poor upbringing too. And by the way, I got some Uyghur food, man. So pretty interesting stuff. I just got it, so go ahead and take a quick bite. This is pretty good. So just had to try it fresh, but people are just panicking like crazy, and it's really it really does feel like a zombie apocalypse for the most part. But I don't know, pretty crazy stuff. And even like for me, I'm going to like yoga and stuff, and there's no one in the class. It's completely empty. I'm getting like a private pretty much from the instructor. So I was like the only one last Monday. I was the only one on Saturday. I didn't go today, but almost every single day of this week. But people are still showing up to jujitsu and powerlifting, surprisingly. So, really interesting stuff. But it's times like these where I just really appreciate having remote work. I'm just very, very blessed, and it's really interesting. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if I should show you guys. Maybe I will. I'm gonna pull it up actually really quick. Um, but I know Ramit Sethi, he's coming up with his remote work program and stuff. And I was actually starting to outline how to create like a service based business. I know I showed Brad how to like some of the inner workings of it. Do I have this up? Hold on, let me see. Just give me one moment, guys. What did I use? Airtable? Yeah, I think Airtable. No. I use Notion. Yeah, so I've been actually documenting everything. Notion.so. Cool. Brad. Anyways, I'll read some of the. Oh yeah, so if I bring it down, maybe I should. I'm using multiple screens right now. So if I go here, will it show? Yeah. I've been really building out this whole dashboard about like great like whoops. Anyways, whatever. I've been building out a dashboard of like all the different steps you need to do to create a service-based business that's remote, because I feel like remote work is really underrated. For those 5 people, make sure to hit the like button too, who haven't already. Stream the new record, Love Light, dropping August 3/20. All this panic exposes how dumb people are. Brad Smith, no, you is the counter response. It's just like an overreaction, guy. Like I just feel like it's just an overreaction. Like I really tell people, like I would really say, like really order online, and just not buy into all this panic. Don't even bother going to a brick and mortar, because like even if you go into something like a Costco or Walmart, chances are like if there's elderly people and you're a carrier of coronavirus, they're going to be at high risk, right, of hospitalization. I think we need to take more responsibility just as younger people to really not go into those places and let the more needy like buy up those supplies, because we can just buy it up online at the end of the day, right? So there's all that. When you already working at home adjusted, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, I work at home right now. Do the YouTube channel, do closing, and I have some recurring clients as well. So pretty great stuff, man. It's really interesting. The pharmacy is so busy right now. If everything's shut down, I bet you the pharmacy is not. I guarantee you. And it's just like during these times where I'm so grateful that I'm not working. Like there's a part of me where I really want to help out the community doing pharmacy, but there's another part of me which is like, dude, I can just focus on my businesses, on my assets, and for what I built. Like I'm really, really proud of myself to be able to kind of escape that lifestyle and make more than I used to. It's really crazy. I think the most important thing about remote work or service-based business is that it gives you the option whether you want to work or not in the healthcare field and whatnot. I was actually going to help during the health fairs for USC, but they canceled all of them this year, so it's pretty crazy. So I can't imagine how busy the pharmacy is. Eloquent says, who needs toilet paper when you can just hop in the shower and just clean yourself? Dude, I fucking do that all the time. You get a squatty potty, bro, and just do that, bro. So like seriously, yeah. I feel like people are freaking out because it's the second coming of the bubonic plague. It reminds me of like those stories about the flu, the Spanish flu and all that. But it really, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like it was man, it just kind of sucks. I don't know if like honestly, I wish like countries like China and whatnot were told us a lot earlier. I mean, I know they're getting a lot of praise right now, but man, all those animals like kept in those wet markets, man. Like we learned that really early in biology, is that's how viruses get transmit like crossover species and animals and stuff like that. So it's just like I'm not surprised. I'm like, fuck, dude. But there's also a lot of conspiracy theories out for for this coronavirus too. I looked into some of them, but I try not to look into it too much because honestly, it doesn't really change my day to day. I'm a very simple guy. The only thing that really changes is like shuts down jujitsu, shuts down yoga. Really nothing else. I mean, I still work at coffee shops and stuff like that every once in a while. Not as much as before. I've been getting hooked on Vietnamese coffee though, by the way. So it's pretty crazy. Um, let's see. I feel like people are freaking out. Eddie God Prime, but there's only a 98% chance that you'll live. I forgot your mom's in Boston. I'm seeing college educated people thinking that wearing a paper mask can save them from a virus. Yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of misconceptions about health. Unless you have like one of those N95 masks, I mean, like really, because those surgical masks, sure, like if there's any droppings or anything like that, I mean, really, that it's only a physical barrier, but like it's not really a full protective barrier for things like viruses. You have to realize viruses are so damn small, right? And they basically pretty much do nothing. And I heard like things like heard heard so many things like everything's selling out. I wonder if people are getting their flu vaccine even though it does nothing for this virus. I'm wondering if the pharmacies are slammed with it right now. Pretty interesting stuff. The only bright side is that I'm funding my Roth IRA at a discount. Oh yes, that is what I wanted to talk about too. I actually wrote like a quick like brain dump. So actually, what did I say? Oh yeah, I'm running towards the gunfire when it comes to investment. When other people are scared, you should run to it. It comes down to the Warren Buffett expression. So if you don't know how to invest, now is a really great time. I actually took I had some money stuffed in bonds. Actually converted a lot of them into the stock market, but I think it's gonna. I was talking to a few of my friends, and they're like, this is gonna last. This is gonna last for the stock market is gonna last for a long time. We're just getting started. Probably won't be until the end of this year until everything's kind of fixed and on the up and up. So I actually moved a lot of my portfolio into stocks just to lock in the wins. But I also have another, I think, 10 G's or 20 G's stashed away to really dump into to the market. So really great time to start getting into market if you haven't already. Go kickassinvesting.com/YouTube if you want to learn how to invest. And by the way, I've been trying to upload all my whole kick-assing investing course and whatnot on Kartra. It's taking freaking forever. It's been stuck here forever, so I gotta figure this shit out, bro. Um, is it safe to go to a gym? I mean, just keep in mind there's a higher probability that you're gonna catch it, right? But I don't like at the end of the day, I don't think it's gonna. It's definitely not gonna. I don't think it's gonna kill us, right? And they haven't made an announcement to stay indoors or anything like that. I'm gonna keep on training as long as I can, knowing that I'm at high risk. But here's the thing: I don't live with anyone else. I live by myself, so that's my decision, right, for the most part. And I don't want to get the whole gym. Like my concern is if I get other people sick in the gym, which makes it really really difficult with this virus because there's a delay of symptoms that you see. It takes about like how many days? I can't remember. I want to say like what 14 days, 5 days. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there is a delayed onset of symptoms, so it's pretty hard to detect, and there's not a really good way to diagnose for people to know that they have it as well. The Fed drops rate to zero and market is still down. We in for a ride. Yeah. But I think it's only a temporary ride. So I'm actually like double downing, but I'm going to be double downing on the market, by the way. And I'm also going to be starting another business at this time. Planning on it. I just got to work some things out, but I'll keep that on the down low until until it's actually successful. I'm going to be documenting every single step of the way. By the way, that's good. It's weird food is bomb. People going crazy for hand sanitizer when 1/3 of people I see in the bathroom don't wash their hands. So true, man. It's crazy. And there's these crazy resellers, bro. Like people are reselling shit and making it way more expensive. I heard there's a lot of price hikes on Amazon as well. But it's all because of these hungry people, like, or at least these really people just buying up everything, right? It's like I understand because everybody has to kind of look for out for themselves, but really, I just don't think this is the way. We really got to think about we really got to think about, especially the immunocompromised and elderly, man, because they don't they don't have that. I don't see them like ordering online. I tried so many times teaching my mom how to order online. She doesn't know, so I just was like, "Fuck it, mom. You want if you want stuff, I'll just ship it to you. Not a big deal." And for those 8 people who haven't liked this video, or actually, thanks for that one like just now. For those 5 people who haven't liked this video, make sure to like that for the algorithm, baby. I would still go to a gym. C virus isn't that bad. Exactly. So I go to a gym. I'm really. I mean, here's the thing. I do not live in fear. Like I don't think life is worth living if you're living in fear all the time. I think you should do your normal activities. Obviously, if they have a ban, then don't go. But or if you think if you know someone that you've been in contact with that has the actual coronavirus, then at that point. But just be aware. Like I think we set this rule at the jujitsu gym. It's like if you're going, then you should just assume that you're infected, right? That's it, right? So that's the thing. What do you think? Oh yeah, and American has a really great comment. What do you think about the colleges moving everything to online? I think this is the next age. I think I think this will really push companies seeing the economic impact on this virus will really push more companies to do remote work because honestly, people hate going into work. We get so much traffic. Not every job requires you to go to work, like physically. I understand, like, I think there'll be a bigger transition into remote work, and I think everybody will be a lot happier doing it. Because here's the truth, not everybody, I do realize not everybody wants to start a business and all that sort of stuff. That's something I didn't realize a few years ago. I was telling my friends that having a job doesn't always suck, but you have to have a way to fund your lifestyle. And sometimes remote work really works really well for certain people. And so I think you're going to see a bigger trend of transitions over to remote work as well. And even for colleges too. Um, yeah, I just, other than meeting people, I don't really see a value of going into work or something like that. So, are you facing a lot of racism? No, not really, YOLO. At the end of the day, I'll just call those people a fucking cunt. No, like at the end of the day, like I haven't faced any racism. Most people are pretty. I mean, within at least to my face, they've been very civil. I mean, I'm very lucky where I don't go to a lot of places where people are just like ignorant and stuff like that. Where most people are respectful. I respect others. I expect the same for myself, right? And not to say I would go world star because who knows, they might have coronavirus, right? But like yeah, I mean I know there's a huge like racist, like in some areas there's people have been complaining about racism, but I haven't really experienced that. And honestly, like let them be fucking racist. They're fucking stupid as fuck, whatever. If there were true panic, wouldn't there be rioting and looting? I would think I think I've witnessed a little bit of that when I went to Costco, man. Not looting, but I saw people like people getting pretty close to world star status. If you don't know what world star status is when people are throwing down in the parking lot and stuff like that. It was getting pretty damn close. People were getting really aggressive in the parking lot. Actually, what's really interesting? It wasn't this week, but I think last week when I went to Costco, this lady, I was signaling for a spot, and she tried taking my spot. I was like, swooped in, and she's like, I was there. I was like, dude, you were not there. You are not there. I'm a very fair person. I'm a very like kind person, but I do not let people take advantage of me like that. And I was like, no, you obviously weren't here, right? Like you weren't here. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to me. You have to wait just like everyone else, right? So, yeah, man, it was pretty freaking crazy, man. People are fucking crazy right now. It's crazy. But you know what? Dude, the roads are empty out here in LA. No one's going yoga classes. I'm getting like privates and stuff. So, I mean, there are some benefits to like everybody being fearful. But I think like when everybody's like running away for something, it opens up a new opportunity. Like, for example, the stock market. For example, this gap of remote jobs and whatnot. It makes selling online like it makes selling like it makes selling online programs so much easier too. So it's just really interesting stuff, guys. The only cure to is to be a handsome young man named Brad. Yo, Brad. By the way, message me later, Brad. I do have a question for you later offline. But for those 7 people who haven't, make sure to like this video, baby. I'm Da. I'm scared right now in the farm. Pray for us. Ahaha. Yeah, man. I I was telling my mom, like, because my brother, he's in pharmacy. His girlfriend, she's a nurse. I was like, they're probably at high risk for exposure, right? That's the thing we gotta realize about healthcare is like we're front lines. Sometimes we forget about that. When we're getting yelled at for a milk and shit, keep in mind your front line. If there's any major disease or anything that breaks out, then you're the first one that contracts it. And guess what? If you go back home, you can pass it on to your, if you're living with your parents or you're housing your parents, you can pass it on to them, kids, stuff like that. Sometimes we forget about that. There's an inherent risk for being a healthcare provider too. And, you know, I'm not saying like you shouldn't be a healthcare provider, but I think sometimes we forget about that as healthcare providers too. Now I can't hit the gym. Bruh, you ain't hit that gym in now I can't hit that gym. Bruh, you ain't hit the gym in 9 years. There might have not been C virus if dude had fried his bat longer. Proper cooking takes some time, people. That's crazy, man. Like, I don't know why people like. I mean, maybe it's like a knowledge gap. Maybe people in other countries, like especially like I saw a lot of people in Indonesia eating bats and whatnot. But it's just like we gotta be very very careful about how we treat our food and how we treat these animals. We gotta make sure that we're not keeping them in close proximity to other animals and what that and all that sort of stuff too. It's really I'm not saying that's the cause, right? We don't know. We At the end of the day, we don't know. It's just highly speculated that it is. But we've seen this through science multiple times where um we shouldn't be having these practices. And you know, I think countries like China will be held accountable actually. Like I think for a while there like a lot of other countries let it slide, but when it had this much impact, economical impact, health impact of all these other countries, um I think the us as a world will be very stringent on like these practices as well going forward, which is a great thing actually. I think it's something that's really needed in this world as well. Owen brought up a very good point on IG. Everyone's staying inside, which depletes them of vitamin D. Yeah, and guess what? I go outside every single day. I order food whenever I want. I grab coffee whenever I want. I don't let it control my life. I think it's important to realize that we all got to go someday. We're all going to die someday. You cannot prevent death, right? And so as long as I'm not causing death to other people, that's my number one primary concern. But like as far as myself, I don't run away from that sort of stuff. It's like whatever. Well, that's what I say now as a healthy individual, but who knows? If 14 days I'm not streaming, you know what happened to Kevin E. So, EJ Jatan gives me a thumbs up. All hand sanitizer is gone, but people aren't buying up the soap. It's crazy, man. My dad is in the same way about ordering things online too. Yeah. My friend who works at Facebook told me he pretty much has unlimited PTO because he can work remotely at home in Canada if he really wanted to. See, that's the power of things like PTO, man. And I think we'll start seeing a big shift toward that world because think about it like this, right? How have jobs kind of so the whole checking into jobs is a very old mentality, right? Think about it. Back in the day, it was more for industrial type of jobs where you have these big expensive ass machines that you can only operate there, right? And I think a lot of these concepts of being at work, working a 9 to 5 at in one solid location and not having freedom to go anywhere, it's a very outdated principle. I'm not saying all jobs can be remote, but there's definitely a lot of jobs that we could make remote, could get the same amount of work done. And even so, if we can cut down the amount of time that people are spending time with each other, like at work and stuff, that'd be great. You know, I don't know if there's any studies about the productivity of people and whatnot, but it definitely makes people a lot happier having more control over their lives. And I think as you see, like there was this study as well. My friend Tom was telling me about it, where like I think a lot of millennials, like people my age, and the younger next generation, I think you call them Gen Zers, right? I'm not quite sure, but they are actually leaving a lot of the corporate jobs, and there's a huge gap. And why is that? Because these new jobs aren't that appealing to people like us anymore, right? When you can start your own business, when you can do these remote type of work, then that's like the next generation. Why not? It just makes better sense. People are a lot happier, and they don't freaking clog up the 5 freeway or the 10 freeway, or if you're anywhere in LA freeway, and other cities are getting more and more congested. So I think it's the responsibility of a lot of these companies to kind of address these issues. Not the responsibility of these companies, but I think it's a win-win, right? Why the fuck wouldn't you want to do that unless you want to make your employees miserable, right? But it is, I understand, as a business point of view, it is a huge quote unquote risk, I guess, as well. But then he's in Canada. How much money did you lose so far in your investment account so far? Oh, bro, I at least lost about 50K, 50 to, yeah, almost 50K in my investment accounts. But I also held a lot of money in bonds because I knew this was coming. But I mean, I'm a pretty aggressive person in general. But here's the thing, right? I think a lot of people just think they look at the ups and downs way too much. It's just like, we know it's going to go back. Well, I can't 100% say we know it's going to go back up, but high probability based off the market trends of the past. And obviously, previous performance is not indicative of future gains or anything like that. Okay, I have to put that disclaimer out, right? But I can say like this was the exact move I made in 2009, where everybody else was leaving the market. They want to transition into bonds. I was like, no, I'm not gonna lock in my losses. I'm just gonna double down into the market. And so I'm actually trying to I'm looking at the market and looking at how much more money I want to inject. Maybe I'll do a dollar cost average type of thing as well, just to make sure that I'm getting best price at all times. But I do have a nice bolus of cash, or cash ready to go, so I can inject into a market. I would love to do a mukbang, by the way, but I don't want to get yelled at for chewing in the mic and all that. Wow. So Tefra says, there is a city in Southern California called Corona. You can look it up. It's actually not too far away from me. I know where that city is. I thought World Star meant dark memes. Maybe, you know what's funny? I haven't actually been on World Star for a while, but maybe back in my day when you went on World Star, you would always see fights, and it would be like you see people fucking scrapping in parking lots and all that, and people would be like World Star, and like, dude, we used to love that shit. I used to like some ratchet ass shit back in the day, man. I was actually speaking about ratchet stuff. I actually started listening to hip hop again just to kind of get updated with the time. So many new rappers, by the way. So pretty funny. Trump should really build the wall, keep the virus out. Are there no waits for dim sum right now? Actually, no, it's really interesting. I was actually looking at places to eat, and there's waiting lists all over the place because people are trying to do takeout. My old roommate, he was like, "Dude, I'm just going to rely on takeout." I was like, "You do realize some cities, they lock down." But he's such a last. Sometimes he's a really last minute type of person, so it's pretty funny, man. Like my friend is kind of panicking at the moment. So healthcare is definitely a field where you can't get fully remote jobs because you can get someone that has to complete the physical processes. Yeah, but I'm saying like, and that's why I feel like maybe if things like pharmacy were automated, it'd actually be good for people too. Um, if we can, if we're able to get machines to physically fill those orders for us, right? If I mean, we see remote order entry pharmacist positions as well. Um, Things like mail order would really reduce exposure as well. But it's difficult, right? How are you gonna? Well, I heard like when I was doing an automation video last year, even in China they have very sophisticated robots that can do surgeries. I'm not sure as well as a human, right? But there's that human element of adaptability too. So I definitely understand. Um, but healthcare, like in general, but there's a lot of different technologies that are really great. From what I heard, like at Kaiser, they're just doing virtual appointments and stuff like that, which is great. You can do all those type of things virtually, and I think I'm not saying that you can completely automate it or completely remote it. I don't remotize. I don't know the word for making a job remote, but I definitely feel like you're going to start seeing a trend or a transition into that direction, and I think it'll be great for a lot of people. Right. The largest American corporation is Walmart, and the largest European corporation is Shell Oil. Really, huh? Joint headquarters in London, The Hague, Netherlands. Walmart HQs in Arkansas. This will not be this will not be a happy St. Patrick's Day. Fun fact, actually, my birthday is right after St. Patrick's Day. So my birthday's on the 18th. I'm turning 32. Woo! Go celebrate at a bar. Oh wait, they're all shut down in LA. No, but yeah. So pretty interesting stuff, man. I never seen any of this sort of stuff happen in my 32 years of life on this planet. But you know, I'm glad that this isn't something super lethal, right? I'm glad that this isn't something like Ebola or some shit like that, where high mortality rate, right? um, just be grateful that this isn't the worst thing that's happened that could have hit us, right? But it does spark a reminder that in this country we definitely don't. Actually, globally, we don't have really great infrastructure to deal with these type of things, like as well. So it's just really, I think the world is a lot more aware now about some of the problems that we have. Motorsport, put that thing in sport. Migos, you can do AMSR. Yeah, best rapper in my opinion is Lil Baby. He's the only rapper I listen to on a consistent basis. Mostly get in a business mindset. I actually like Joyner Lucas or whatever. He has that song Revenge. I love that. I've been really into Stupid Young. I actually love Stupid Young. It's pretty freaking crazy. I've been blasting that the whole time. My friend was like, "Damn, you really like Stupid Young?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like I really like Stupid Young a lot. I like a lot of these Asian rappers, like the whole 88 Rising um label and stuff. I really like that. It's just really great music. Shell has their American branch HQ in Houston, Texas, next to Houston City Hall and Houston Public Library, but it's a European country. I try to buy rice at Walmart, and it's all bought out. Can I consider that a hate crime as I eat a daily rice eater? You know what? It's probably like a Asian on Asian crime, bro. Like, dude, those I live in a really Asian part of town, man. And yeah, man, like it's a lot of Asian people buying up all the rice. I feel like that's the first thing to go. But yeah, I actually did not buy any. So some of the things I bought a lot of protein bars. Bought a lot of protein. Like I still have a lot of protein shakes, so I'm good with that. I bought some almonds. I bought some hemp seeds. I bought chia seeds. I bought peanut butter, but not like the like the powdered peanut butter, organic powdered peanut butter. I have some hot sauce. I have some more nuts. Nuts in your mouth. I bought coffee, dude. If that coffee spikes up, man, I'm prepared. I got like four. I bought like 6 pounds, man, so I'm good there. I bought some turmeric, bought some fish oils, all the main essentials. I didn't buy any rice because I obviously don't eat rice. But yeah, man, I'm like loaded up, ready to spend this like this cold summer. I guess like it feels like packing up for the winter and stuff. This is how people must feel like in places like Alaska or whatnot when it's cold as fuck and shit. So yeah. Some people don't know that TD Bank is from Canada. I actually didn't know that. Hagao, like that's the first time. And speaking about Hagao, right? Like in terms of Cantonese, man, I just realized that I never learned shapes like in Chinese school or Cantonese school at all whatsoever. I didn't know how I was like, huh, how do you freaking say square? So I was looking up like shapes on so funny. I was looking up shapes on YouTube, bro. Like how to say circle and stuff, and all that sort of like I never learned that shit. But it blows my mind. And I was like, Mom, like I called my mom, I was like, Mom, do you ever remember me like learning shapes in Cantonese school? Because she probably has a better memory about that than I did. She's like, you know what? I don't think they ever taught you. I was like, I don't think I ever learned, to be honest with you. So it's pretty funny, man. Sorry if this is super random, but I've always wondered: are Jews European or Asian? Um, technically, any Middle Eastern, like I thought like Middle Eastern people are considered like Asian or something. I have no idea, man. They're definitely. I'll tell you this: they're definitely not East Asian. They definitely don't look like me, man. So I'll tell you that. I don't think I know how to either. Yeah, it's like pretty freaking crazy. Like, these are the shower thoughts that I have sometimes. It's just like, dude, I never learned this. So I was watching this Chinese flashcard things. I can't remember what square was or triangle. But some of the things like I remember obviously like heart and stuff. Like I know heart, star, stuff like that, but I don't know like the basic shapes, right? Um, I knew circle like circle, but I don't know like dude, if I had a gun pointed on my head and they're like, quick Kevin, how do you say hexagon in Cantonese? I'm fucking dead, bro. Like my Cantonese is not that good to begin with, and then to be throwing it shapes in, like, because how often, okay, in the English vernacular, how often do we ever like talk about hexagons and octagons and nonagons? Like I have no freaking clue. So I there's one thing I want to get really good at, and I know I need to take the time, but I really want to get better at Cantonese as well. That, like, I know people are like Cantonese is a dying language, yeah, but I want to learn it, man. There's like I feel like I lost most of it, and I just want to go back to Hong Kong, but obviously I can't do that. I was telling my ex like I really do miss Hong Kong a lot. It's been on my mind. Every all since all the ratchet shit has been happening over there with the whole government and now coronavirus, it's really gone through some tough times, man. And so I've been talking to my friends. Some of my friends were protesting too during the whole thing as well. So it's quite sad, but I want to go back there for old time's sake. Especially if I have remote work, I can go anywhere in the world, or maybe save some money up and just like enjoy life a little bit. And I think that's one thing I've been really focusing on too, is like not working so much or working so hard, is like really being present with everyday life, right? When things like coronavirus and shit comes up, it doesn't bother me because I'm just like, we all got expiration date, man. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go, man. And so that's my thing, man. I was planning to go Thailand at the end of the year too. So, but we'll see if that happens. But flights are probably pretty damn cheap right now. But you just might not be able to get back in the country. So, as well. So, I think Jews are European. Cantonese will be around because of Guangdong and HK. Also San Francisco. Yeah, I mean, there's something beautiful about that culture, right? And it's different. It's different from like main like northern like Mandarin cultures and stuff. Like I don't know. There's something about that freaking rice culture, bro. Like, yeah. Um, Ngok says, "You still talk to X?" Every once in a while, not often. So this was probably like a few days ago. Because I saw all the reports on Hong Kong where the shells were all emptied out and whatnot, and I was just like, dude, the same fucking shit here, bro. And so I was just like wishing her the best. I know that she was planning to come to here to New or going to New York as well, with her new boyfriend and whatnot. And I was just like, man, for some reason things keep on happening. You can never get in the U.S. right? But we're just we weren't talking on the phone. It was just through message, but just really sending my best wishes. And I think as I get older too, I've been able to let go of a lot of things, right? Let go of like past anger toward relationships, and just be more present and just really unconditionally wish the best for people too. I think that's an important skill as you get older. And yeah, man, it's funny. I feel like in the last 2 years I've done a lot growing up as well. Like I was a lot more ratchet back in the day, even when I was practicing as a pharmacist. But I feel like these days, even though sometimes I'm a little ratchet, definitely grown up and have a better perspective on things sometimes. True. I went to visit San Fran, Chinatown, had Cantonese in the background the whole time. Actually, you know what's really interesting? Probably a lot of the. I'm really interested what's going to happen to Toys on culture. I know Fung Bros, they did like a segment on Toys on like food and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens with that, man. Um, I'll be honest, like a lot of people just don't like our Toysonese food and stuff. It's not the most health. Oh, well, it's like salty fish and stuff like that. It's like the dank shit, and until like chefs like really make it appealing to most people, like a lot of people don't really like that shit, right? So, oh fuck, oh shit, this Uyghur food just spilled all over me. Somebody asked how old am I? I can't find my phone. It says, how old are you? I am 31 right now, about to turn 32 this what's today? Today is the 15th. Today 15th? Yeah, today's 15th. I turn 32 in 3 days, man. Holy shit, that's crazy. Doesn't feel like I honestly feel like I've gotten like I feel older, man, than that. I was like watching Ryan Higa's videos today because I was just trying to procrastinate. Like I'll be real, I was procrastinating. I was just like, fuck, I don't feel like working today because I've been really working on a lot of different things. And YouTube is one of those escape things. And he's like, I'm turning 30. I'm like, damn, you're a baby, bro. Like it's not a baby, but it's really no big difference between hitting 30-year mark and 20s. Sure, maybe your perspective changes, maybe the things that you like doing change. The reason why, like, I hated getting up early in the morning back in the day, but I love it. It's one of the most best feelings that I get nowadays that I'm older. But really not that much changes like throughout the years. I feel like, it's really the attitude that you have in life, and especially like work, it beats the fuck out of you in terms of your spirit. That's the number one thing I realized. Like I'm like, dude, entrepreneurs, they have so much energy, but when I talk to not my friends who are working, they aren't super happy or anything like that, man. So just interesting insight. He's turning 3. Ngok says, I can't find my phone. Says he's turning 32 on the 318. Thanks. Thanks for remembering. I might have missed it, but what are your thoughts on the virus? Well, I talked a lot about the virus. I was just giving some tips. Like, if you want to see, I actually wrote up, or was gonna write up a newsletter. I don't know if I'm gonna put it, but this was on my morning pages, right? So, some of the insights I had was like, no one's eating out in public. I can understand why, but also like also people are not even at gyms and stuff. It's so funny. Every no one's at the gym right now, so I pretty much get privates and whatnot. Trends in work, I feel like a lot more things will start going to remote, which is a good thing. Um, as well, like it's had such a huge economical impact as well. Buying online, this was probably the biggest thing. I feel like as like the younger generation compared to the older people, we should really consider just ordering online a lot more. It's better fulfillment. You don't have to wait, and plus it gives a chance for a lot of these older. Let me switch views. It gives it a lot of chance for these older people to be able to shop for what they need and not get exposed as much, right? Because we don't want to be carriers for this as well, right? Um, but I mean, I was also talking about how I was helping my mom. Just like I called my mom and my uncle, saying like, hey, if you need anything, like let me know and I'll ship it over to you. I think right now is a great time to go into online business. Think about how many people are buying online these days. Like e-commerce is taking a is booming right now. You're gonna wish that you had an e-commerce business. This is not gonna be the last time that we have a crazy virus like this. We are. I'm actually surprised that this didn't happen a lot sooner. Um, so, I was also talking about um, not stopping what you love doing. Right. The only thing I'm scared about is really infecting others if I'm a carrier. But going through the daily routines, I think is important. Right. Like, what's the point of life? We all gotta go out one day. Right. Might as well do things that you love. And also when it comes to investing, everybody's panicking right now because the economy is shitting. But you should look at the benefits to like the upside to anything, right? Like whenever anything like this happens, really you should be investing more and go toward the gunfire. And um I think like one of the things I've really realized too is that everybody's in a panic mode or fearing everything, but don't let it hold you prisoner for things that you love doing, the relationships as well. You're going to see a lot of these like you're gonna see a lot more tools like things like Zoom, Facebook Messenger, all these different type of things where it's gonna connect people a lot more virtually as well. And this is how I build a lot of my friendships. I love doing virtual meetings. I call people virtually. Some people are a little weirded out by it, but I'm just adopting what's gonna happen next, anyways. And last thing I wrote down was zombie apocalypse. I saw so many when I went to Costco. It was like crazy. People were like fucking killing each other. There's long lines. It looked like a freaking war zone, bro. Crazy. So I actually gotta get gas too at Costco. Shit. But yeah. Um. So Armor Ghost asks, what are your methods of cooking that you do most often? I use an air fryer actually. So I usually sometimes I'll boil and I'll use the air fryer most often, or I'll go out to eat. Those are most common things because I actually in this new apartment I don't have a stove or anything like that as well. So do a lot of those type of things, and I do things that you don't have to really cook, like chia seeds and all that sort of stuff. I haven't eaten chia seeds in a while, but and I juice as well, or juice slash blender. What's the most expensive thing that you ever bought? Dan Pena? No, not Dan Pena. It's actually my car. My car was about 30 G's at the time. Still runs like a champ. Love it every single day. Hybrid. Or actually, you know what? My pharmacy tuition. But if you're talking about everyday stuff, um, let's see, what's up there. I bought programs, I guess, but physical items, maybe a laptop or a camera. I'm trying to think. I don't really buy that much expensive stuff. I'm just trying to look around my room and whatnot. No, nothing super expensive. Maybe my camera and my lens. Probably my lens costed more than my camera at this point. But yeah, man, not that much. I can't really think of too many things. Haven't bought a house or anything like that. I don't plan on buying a house either. On a weirder note, have you ever dated a black girl? Never dated a black girl in my life. Yo, Kevo, have you ever tasted Baiju before? Isn't that the wine stuff? Let me see. Baiju. What's Baiju? Bakju. Is that the Cantonese for it? I don't know. I just took white and and liquor. No, I've never tasted it before. I don't drink at all, by the way. Don't you drink that like when like people die and shit? I don't know. So never tasted it before. Oh yeah, the family grandmother's toy son. I can still kind of understand it a little. Definitely even less prevalent than Kanto though. Yeah, it's even less prevalent. It's a niche within a niche. Um, but that's what my people are really like. We're actually toys on and stuff like that. We're not actually, that's where my family came from and stuff like that. So it's gonna be. I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't learn more growing up, but that's part of the evolution too, right? When you come to a new country, you're obviously not gonna speak your mother tongue too well anymore, right? I can barely speak anymore. It's not that great, right? I want to improve on it, but there's also like limited time too, right? And for what? Just for my ego and all that sort of stuff. I do want to carry traditions though. That is really important to me. There's one thing that is really important is like carrying those family traditions that we used to have and stuff. Some of the traditions are kind of are ridiculous in my mind, but I do want to carry that culture because it's important. I think it's important to realize where your family came from, all the struggles that they went through, passing on those stories and traditions. And yeah, that's really important to me. That's why I used to do lion dancing and all that sort of stuff to kind of capture that because once it's gone, it's gone. It's you can't recreate that culture anymore, right? So I have a vitamin that will save you from coronavirus. Only 5,000. That's a steal, bro. 5,000 per pill, dude. Man, that is a steal. I swear, right? Some of these drugs are fucking criminal. Like they cost so much damn money and stuff like that. But that's a steal, bro. When does your income breakdown? What does your income breakdown look like? So it really depends. Like here's the thing about having clients and stuff. It's always up and down. But in general, even on my worst months, I'll make anywhere from like $3,000, and on my really great months, can make it close to 14K. It really depends on a lot of different things, but in general, I will try my best to live off. What's the breakdown? 20%. Let me see my budget really quick. I have a budget worksheet. Budget. I don't, and I would show you guys, but I don't know if I have any sensitive stuff on there. So let's take a look at budget worksheet. It's taking forever to load because I'm streaming and doing all this sort of stuff too. I got for those people who haven't liked this video, make sure to like this video too. That'd be great. That would be great, baby. Oh my god, what the hell? It didn't load. Uh, Whatever. Maybe I'll do a video about my breakdown of my finances and stuff as well. But I mean, my everyday living expenses is about 1,500. You gotta realize this apartment barely cost me freaking anything, so everything is just gravy over there. I have no car payment. I finished paying that off. Um, School is pretty negligible at this point. What else? I'm just trying to think about all my expenses, but I have it broken down like everything like business expenses, all that sort of stuff. What course are you most proud that you bought? That's a good question. People are gonna hate me for this, but I feel like high ticket closer was actually most one of the most impactful things. It wasn't because of the course actually. It was because of the people I met during that rise. Um, because high ticket closer when we were first starting, a lot of successful people. Like they were very successful in the industry, and I got to meet people like my friends Tom, Zach, really intellectual people. It opened me to a world of all these online trainings, so I get free courses all the time. Actually, at this point, I'm in the world. Got to meet all the gurus in the space, and it's an amazing feeling being surrounded by them, learning from them all the time, and being able to create a new life. And it turns out I was really scared, terrified of sales, but now I know the best salespeople in the freaking world, and it's been very, very transformative for me. I have to say though, Ramit's courses are always really solid. Scott Ulsford is really solid too. His course is ROI method, one of the best out there. So really solid. And obviously my friend Richard Nitch, he has such a great course and great community over at Richard Nitch as well. So affiliate links all below. No, I'm not even sure if I have affiliate links for all those, but some of them definitely do. But those are some of the courses that stuck out to me. So that's pretty much everything. Um, It must be a fantastic time to work in transportation and shipping, probably, or having a e-commerce business on Amazon FBA for like toilet paper. Damn, most of those sellers were my. I didn't check, but my friend was telling me that they're mostly sold out. Doug, Lemon Doug says, or Armor Go says, 100K high ticket toilet paper, 200K hand sanitizer. What are three things that you wish you knew that you tell all the poor people if they knew they would listen? Um, I'll just say one thing is like notice your habits, right? Because one of my friends, he came over recently. He was not the richest type of person as well, and one of the most impactful things was like really being aware of his habits, right? Of his poor habits, right? I've I've been on both spot. Like I would say I'm still major. Like I'm not rich, right? My family grew up middle class, but like we did have periods where we were really strapped on cash. Like it was really um especially when growing up as well, right? Definitely did not have as much money. And one of the things that's important is like when you're cheap, you're aware that you're being cheap and don't go on autopilot for that, right? Just be like, okay, why am I making this purchase? Do I actually want this type of thing? Because as cheap people sometimes like I was never cheap with people, but like when I was in Hong Kong and buying electronics, I'm like, oh damn, it's on sale and shit, let's buy it. It's so much cheaper. It's a better decision not to buy that stuff at all rather than buy that cheap stuff just because it's cheap. So that was one of the patterns I noticed for myself. Second thing is like, okay, investing into things that really matter, buying what you care about and ignoring the rest, right? Having focus on the most important things. So like that's why these days I buy the most expensive phone that I can buy because guess what? I do my business on my phone. I watch YouTube while I'm taking a dump. No, but literally, you don't want to bottleneck yourself, and so being really hyper aware of that, of those buying decisions as well. I think that's something really important. And invest. Don't buy something just because it's cheap. Like invest into assets, right? Assets don't always have to be things that put money in your pocket. It just adds value into your life. So it could be certain experiences that'll pay over and over and over again, like friendships, relationships. Invest in those. Don't skimp out and cheap out on everything in life, right? So, Matt says all appies and ippies are canceled at my school March 16th to 30th. Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff, man. Sorry to hear that, Matthew. I think Baiju is supposed to be pronounced white beer wine. If you remember those words in Kando, yeah, Bakju, right? So that's I think that's cool. You have a budget, says Lemon Doug. Hot topic. Your thoughts on incels? Oh man, this is gonna get hella hate. But I feel like a lot of the same things that if you listen to Genius Brain and a lot of these other podcasts about like positive masculinity and responsibility and Jocko and stuff like that, you'll probably know my thing is like, dude, you will never get anywhere by victimizing yourself, right? And that's how I feel like a lot about a lot of feminist movements and Asian awareness movements and stuff. We're not gonna get anywhere by victimizing ourselves. We need to take responsibility, be models within our communities as well, right? So, for example, I know this is kind of veering off topic a little bit, but when everybody was raving about Crazy Rich Asians, I actually didn't watch it. And it wasn't because like I was taking a stand or anything. It's just like I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, you should watch this great Asian movie. It's called Crazy Rich Asians." But I was like, no. I mean, at the end of the day, if it's a great movie, it's a great movie. You want to stand by itself, and that's why I love things like MMA, is because when you see a great fighter, you hear Khabib. The first thing is not like, oh, Muslim MMA fighting artists or whatever, best grappler fighting bears and shit. Like you think about him for his skills, right, and the appreciation of the art, right. You respect people for their performance, what they do, their craft, right. You don't look at people by their race. So to circle back to incels, a lot of them are just like involuntary celibates, but it's isn't it pretty crazy? You look at it incel and you say incel, you close your eyes, and you can imagine what they're like. They need to start taking responsibility for themselves, and I get it. No one teaches you how to be a freaking man in this world. Like I wasn't taught. I had to self. I'm still going through self learning all the time when it comes to that sort of stuff, and really taking control of your health, wealth, and relationships. That's the first step. You know, putting the responsibility on you, and I think that's where stoic mentality really comes in, is where you learn how to manage your state. You learn, even though things might not be your fault, guess what? It's always your responsibility. You have to remember that, you know? And that's why there's this progression that's really important that they sometimes lack. When you just give up, there's no progression, there's no growth. You'll never ever get any better. Women will never, I'm telling you this, like I've not focused on women at all in my life, but I feel like as I get older, women are a lot easier. Why is that? Because the way I carry myself is progressively getting better. I'm not desperate for any girl that gives me their attention or that walks in a room, right? So I think that's important, right? And if, let's say if there's an incel, right, the first thing that you can ever do is, what's the easiest out of the three? Oh, go to a gym, work out, do something like jujitsu. Jujitsu is a great way for incels to kind of develop themselves. You know why, right? You're spending a lot more time with men. There's this great book I recommend. My friend loved it when he came here. I made him read it. It's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Really, really great book. Highly recommend men, women, anybody read it who has people pleasing problems. I have to read it myself because I sometimes forget, right? But I think that's really, really important to do something like jujitsu or do something where you're spending time with other men and learning to bond like learning to bond with other men and masculine energy, right? So I think that's really, really important. Brad says please start your own Facebook group. Yeah, man, like dude, let's talk after, man. I would love to chat with you because I was actually, there's two projects I want to do, but I can't do it by myself, so was actually thinking about you. But that's my thoughts on incels. Like, take control of your life one step at a time. It's not going to change overnight, but control yourself, make yourself that desirable person, not for the acceptance of women, right? It's just a byproduct, right? Make it so you can just be the best fucking you ever, man. And where you can make impact, where you can help impact, challenge, and connect. Those three words I wrote. Thanks to so funny, I have this book. Thanks to this book, I actually thought about those three words. And those are three words that light me up every single day. It's just like those are, I want to be challenged every day. I want to connect with people every day. I want to have impact every single day. So really, really important. Armor Ghost says, or Brad Smith says, there will be many more incels because dating advice for men is under attack by SJW culture. Yeah, and I don't think SJWs are all that great either. You know, things like, I know I'm not a political channel, but um like, victimizing is not, being a victim will never get you anywhere, right? Um, things would have, and everybody's watching what they say and stuff like that because of SJW culture, which is horrible, right? People aren't being authentic, right? And it's not saying like if you say something you're going to be racist or anything like that, but inherently, like things like affirmative action, it's racist by nature, right? You aren't looking at people as an individual, right? We want to make sure that obviously we don't want to make sure that we're keeping anyone down and stuff like that, but you know, to just really talk about toxic masculinity and all that sort of shit, you know, being masculine is not toxic, right? There's asshole feminists, there's asshole masculine people, right? Assholes are just assholes sometimes, right? um but it doesn't mean all men are you need masculinity in this world. You also need femininity in this world, and I feel like it's kind of lacking. Both those energies are kind of lacking because lack of, I don't know, role models, people teaching you. I don't always think parents are the best people to teach you this shit. No one taught me, so I had to learn through books, through going experiences, through going a lot of hardships in my life, man. It's not easy. I felt alone for most of my life too. So that's why I do videos, write articles sometimes. I sometimes forget that because there's a lot of days where I just don't feel like writing articles or posting content, but then I forget. There's a lot. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel out there, man, but I definitely do have the I can make impact, right? And I need to start focusing on that more. I was actually thinking about getting a coach as well too pretty recently as well. So Clamaris says, sup? What up, Clamaris? Nice. Caught another live stream, says Bob Dole. SWJ, SJW are done. People are starting to pick up on the inauthentic motives that people have been using as a weapon. SJW. Yeah, it's really not a pleasant time to be. Like, it's not pleasant. Like, people feel like more guarded than ever. And it's just inauthentic, and it's horrible. I mean, me and Zach, we talk about this sometimes, but I just don't. It's kind of destroyed comedy. Like, it's the thoughts that people are thinking all the time, but they can't say, and it's really gotten out of control. So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. My food is all fucking cold now, but I had a lot of fun. Highlights. Just stay safe, guys. Continue what you're doing. Don't let something like a virus like stop you. But obviously, be mindful of the elderly and people who are immunocompromised because they're at highest risk, right? So, anyways, guys, please, if you can, just like this video, boost the algorithm. If you guys got any questions, put it below, and I'll shoot some videos and pull some questions and do it for next week's videos. Do you have a general streaming schedule and general times that you go live? Yeah, Sunday about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's my usual time. So I usually stream for about 30 minutes, which is usually an hour or two. That's what it means. But yeah, Bob. Maybe I'll do some announcements through my channel too. So if you want to hit the bell, I'll start posting, like, I'll start doing automated posts about, hey, I'm streaming today. Catch me at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or if anything comes up. How's that sound, bud? All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Take care. Peace. And